Hey, it's Frisbee Rob. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about Frisbee and disc sports in general. So I'm going to be heading to London, England next week to run some throwing clinics at the U23 World Ultimate Championships. And then the week after that, I'm going to be heading to Sweden for the World Overall Flying Disc Championships. And then after that, I'm going to be heading to Portugal to teach throwing to a bunch of disc doggers. So teaching them how to throw to their dogs. So within the span of 3 weeks, I'm going to be exposed to 9 different disc sports. Okay, so you have Ultimate obviously during the U23 World Ultimate Championships. And then at the overall, we have 7 different disc sports. So we have DDC, we have distance, we have self-caught flight, we have accuracy, we have discathon, DDC, I said DDC, disc golf, and freestyle. Okay, so 7 different disc sports. It's just like a heptathlon and track and field, except instead of 7 different track and field events, you have 7 different disc sports. And then after the overall, like I mentioned, I'm going to be heading to Portugal and there's going to be dog disc. So 9 different disc sports, okay? You can see here I'm surrounded by discs. There are a couple Frisbees here. Okay, so these are Frisbees, the other ones are all discs. So a lot of you who listen to Brody Smith hear him talk about whammo, trash whammo all the time. Well, these are 3 different whammo Frisbees that are really good quality, okay? So you have a double discord disc, okay, very light, about 110 grams. You have a Frisbee fastback, this one's about 95 grams. And then you have a guts disc. Okay, if you haven't heard of guts, the oldest disc sport in the world. Okay, and the International Frisbee Tournament of that is actually happening starting tomorrow. This year is the 58th annual, so it's the oldest Frisbee tournament in the world. Just some incredible history, but my biggest goal right now is just to educate people. So there's a lot of people, myself included, when I was playing Ultimate, I did not know about this at all, okay? And so I think it's super important for us to understand that you can do so much more with a disc than just play catch with one person or with a team of people, okay? For example, you have, this is a Discraft Ultrastar. Most of you throw that for Ultimate. And then this is an Innova Pulsar. So 2 Ultimate discs. What's the difference between them? Well, this one's a little more stable than this one. So the Innova is more stable than the Discraft, okay? What does that actually mean? It means that when you throw this flat versus this flat, this is gonna fade to the left more than this will, okay? My goal at the World Ultimate Championships next week is to teach the players the difference between overstable and understable discs, okay? It makes a lot of sense when you play disc golf because depending on what disc you throw, they're gonna move certain ways, okay? In Ultimate, the goal is basically to throw it straight to somebody. Okay, in disc golf, we don't have to worry about straight, we can curve the disc in the air. Ultimate, sometimes you put an edge on it, but typically you're throwing it straight, okay? So with Ultimate, we can play catch, we can throw to each other, that's great. Guts is 5-on-5, you throw the disc as hard as you can at the other team and they have to try and catch it. You get points if they don't catch it. DDC, double disc court, very similar to doubles tennis, except instead of 1 tennis ball, you have 2 tennis balls, or in the case of DDC, 2 Frisbees. A lot of fun as well. Freestyle, if you think of Ultimate like the hockey of Frisbee, then you can look at freestyle as the figure skating. So you get points for technical elements. Okay, this is called a nail delay, so you can spin the Frisbee on your finger. There's a lot of different tricks you can do with a disc, okay? So a lot of very cool things. Obviously, you see the basket behind me for disc golf. Very simple. Throw the disc in the basket. So if you've ever played, we call it ball golf or golf, you hit a ball into a hole. In disc golf, you throw a disc into a basket. Everything else is pretty much exactly the same, okay? These discs are not meant for catching. Something I'm trying to educate people about as well is if you're teaching kids who are young being grade 5 and under, so 12, 13 years and younger, we do not want them to be throwing an Ultimate disc, okay? These are far too heavy, and they're not really going to gain the benefit that you can with a lighter disc. So this is a Frisbee fastback. This is another Frisbee fastback, different style. Okay, this is about 110 grams versus 95 grams, so a little heavier, but they're cheap. These are $2, okay? An Ultimate disc, $8, $9, $10. So 4 times the price. So young kids, get them throwing Frisbee fastbacks, okay? I think it's super important for us to get kids into Frisbee before Ultimate, before disc golf. What do I mean by that? We have to get them learning to throw and catch first, okay? quick example of that is if I'm playing ultimate. Okay, in ultimate we teach the sidearm or the forehand. If I'm right-handed, that I'm stepping with my right foot because my left foot is my pivot foot. So I'm learning to throw a forehand or a sidearm like that. Okay, that's actually the wrong way to throw a sidearm. In disc golf, we lead with our left foot. If you've ever thrown a baseball, how do we throw a baseball? We step with our left foot. That's how we get the weight transfer from our back foot to our front foot. Okay, that's how we're gonna get the power in the throw. So we can try and emulate that in ultimate because we can try and step, except I'm transferring my weight from my left to my right, except I'm throwing off my right. So all my weight's here. Okay, pretty awkward to do. So in disc golf, we learn that the proper way to throw a sidearm is stepping with our left foot. Okay. So I threw an ultimate disc for 10 years before I ever threw anything else. I had this idea that if you throw anything other than ultimate disc when you're playing ultimate, it's going to hurt your throw. Okay, and that's absolutely not true. So if you've heard that before, whoever said that to you is wrong. Okay, and I will be that bold to say that they're wrong in saying that. Okay. Other things that we need to learn when we start learning Frisbee before ultimate: how to throw, how to grip. Okay. Yes, this is a grip. That's not the right grip. Okay. All the power, all the snap comes from having this pivot point. So when we first learn to throw backhand, we need to learn to throw index finger and thumb. Okay. For a sidearm or a forehand, it's all about the pinch because we're trying to snap it. So we want to be pinching here. Okay, so that's my goal, is just trying to educate people using the right terminology. There's a lot of disc golfers now online who are doing a lot of throwing clinics, and they're explaining how they throw, but they don't even know how they're throwing. They're using the wrong words. So instead of saying weight transfer, they're saying explode the weight. Okay, it's not the same thing. So we need to understand weight transfer, and we're not reinventing the wheel. Okay, a lot of this concept, a lot of the knowledge of teaching comes from golf, comes from throwing a discus, hitting a tennis ball, throwing a baseball, hitting a baseball, throwing a football, shooting a hockey puck. Okay, there's all these other elements, all these other sports that we can rely on to help us learn how to throw a Frisbee. Okay, there's all these different discs, there's all these different disc sports. So if I'm in field by myself, I can do self-caught flight. I can do disc golf, I can do accuracy. Freestyle, a little trickier, but I can do it. Okay, if I have two people, I can play catch. I can do freestyle. If I have 4 people, I can play double discord. If I have 6 to 10 people, I can do guts. If I have 14 people, I can play ultimate. Okay, so again, there's all these different disc sports. I'm not trying to say don't play ultimate, but I'm saying before we introduce kids to ultimate, we need to introduce them to Frisbee. Okay, there's this whole world that a lot of people don't even know exists that I'm trying to get out there. And it's funny, sometimes I was saying to my friend today, sometimes when I do these videos and I talk about Frisbee, I feel like this crazy old guy out there who, you know, is surrounded by Frisbees, and oh, who is this guy? You know, he's some 7-year-old guy that just lives on his own. And okay, but that's not true. So I'm trying to not sound like that guy preaching, because you know, there's other people that see this as well, and what you don't know, you don't know. So when I played ultimate for 10 years, I literally didn't know any of these disc sports existed other than disc golf. Okay, when I first played disc golf, I played with an ultimate disc, which was fine, but I didn't know about double discord, which is almost as old as ultimate. I didn't know about guts, which is older than ultimate. Okay, back in the 70s and early 80s, there was a tournament called the World Frisbee Championships. They had the North American Series. In order to qualify to go to that, they had state championships. Okay, in order to qualify to go to the World Frisbee Championships. And there was 50,000 people watching, and it was everything. You had ultimate, you had disc golf, you had the overall, you had dog disc. All these different disc sports, all these different people celebrated Frisbee together. Okay, we're at a point now where ultimate seems to be off on its own little island, its own silo. Okay, ultimate is not the fastest growing disc sport in the world. Okay, you always hear claims about that. For example, in Calgary, there's maybe 1,000 ultimate players, 900 ultimate players. There's probably 2 to 3 times that many disc golfers. Okay, we just don't have an accurate count because we don't have a disc golf league that has that many people. But we have courses, there's hundreds of people playing every day. Disc golf is huge, and we're gonna grow more together, okay? If you think about, if we introduce ultimate to 10,000 people and only 1,000 of them stick around, you know, 10%, okay, great. If we introduce Frisbee to 1 million people and 10% of them stick around, that's 100,000 people, okay? So by growing disc sports together, we're helping all the other disc sports, okay? By growing ultimate by itself, we're not helping the other disc sports. Okay, so we really need to work together as a collective. You know, the World Flying Disc Federation is about all flying disc sports, not just ultimate. Okay, sometimes it feels like it's just ultimate because, you know, there's a pro ultimate league, there's strength in numbers, there's tournaments, but disc golf is growing. Okay, guts has been pretty quiet, but guts is fun. We can get guts back to where it used to be. Very simple. You just need one disc, 10 people, throw it as hard as you can, they try and catch it. Okay, double disc court. It's a lot of fun. I've been trying to get it growing here. It's a hard game to learn. There's a steep learning curve for sure. The discs are a lot lighter. In ultimate, we're throwing it to space where our receiver can catch it. In double disc court, we're throwing it to space where the other team cannot catch it. So we're learning space differently. We're learning different throws. We're getting a lot more catches, eye-hand coordination. Okay, so it's not that one is better than the other. Okay, I'm not saying that ultimate is not fun or not good, but you can't play ultimate all the time because the numbers just don't exist, okay? And it's really tough on your body. And it's also good for us to cross-train, so to play other disc sports. It's really good for us to do that, okay? So I just wanted to take some time and kind of explain where I'm at with it. My full-time job now is I go into schools and I'm a motivational speaker. I talk to kids, but then I also run Frisbee workshops, okay? So I'm teaching kids about the possibilities. I like to say that I'm a possibilitarian because I exist, right now at least, to explore Frisbee, to open kids' minds to the idea of Frisbee, to get it back to where it was, or at least introduce it to everybody, okay? Ultimate is a team sport. That's fantastic. If kids love team sports, they'll love ultimate. If they don't like team sports, then we need to give them other opportunities to play Frisbee and explore, okay? On the old school Frisbees, it says play, catch, invent games. So when these Frisbees were made, there really wasn't that many disc sports, okay, other than guts. People playing catch, but that didn't exist. There was no ultimate, there was no DDC, disc golf, things like that. So when these were invented, it was, you know, here's this piece of plastic that can fly really well, go make up a game, play catch with each other, okay? So I could throw this to myself, I could throw it to a friend, I could throw it in the disc golf basket, I could throw it in the accuracy target, I can throw it to a dog, okay? So there's all these different things I can do with a disc. There's so many possibilities. So I'm just trying to introduce it to people. And I really want to thank the people that have helped me along the way. Okay, especially for this upcoming Worlds, HBI and Horizon Heating, who are my two main sponsors to help me get there. I'd also like to thank the World Flying Disc Federation for bringing me over and giving me the opportunity in England to run throwing clinics at the World Ultimate Championships. And that's Karina, who's really helped me out with that, and Tomas, who's the chair of the overall committee, who's connected me with Karina. I'd also like to thank Leo in Portugal, who's doing all the planning to bring me over to Portugal to run throwing clinics and teach disc doggers how to throw discs to their dogs. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've never been to Portugal. But it's just, again, trying to teach these possibilities that exist, okay? Frisbees are a lot of fun. There's a lot of different kinds that you can have. For example, this one is a Frisbee fastback, these two, and they're from the 1970s. My friend Tita gave them to me, okay? They fly beautifully. They're really good for self-caught flight, but 40 years old. At the time, this was 25 cents for this Frisbee. So it's amazing what exists. And for myself, when I was playing Ultimate, I didn't know about any of this, okay? So luckily, my friend Jack Cooksey found me on YouTube, invited me to the World Overall Championships in 2011, and opened my eyes to this entire world, exposed me to this beautiful sport. And I've been trying to sort of spread that ever since. For the second time, so in 2013, I was the only Canadian to go to Sweden, and this year as well, I'll be the only Canadian going to Sweden. In 2011, my buddy Glenn went. Unfortunately, he didn't go 2 years ago or this year. But it's really an honor to represent my country, even if there's no national sports organization for Frisbee, even though the Canadian government isn't recognizing that I'm going, or they haven't given me, any Canadian gear or anything like that to go. It's an honor to be the Canadian over there representing Canada, saying, we want to get Frisbee going in Canada. I've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of people that play Ultimate. There's a lot of people that play disc golf, okay? People are busy. Getting into a new disc sport is tough, but that's why so many disc sports exist, because it's something for everybody, to be honest. And it's just trying to demonstrate the sports, give them the opportunity to see what they're all about, try them out, have fun with them, and really the sky is the limit. Like, you can invent any sport that you want. I'm actually working on starting a nonprofit called the Ageless Game, because Frisbee is the ageless game. You can play pretty much any disc sport from the time you're young to the time you're 95, 100 years old, okay? And we see that. There are people playing disc golf in their 90s. So that's one of the things I'm working on. You know, there's over 100 different throws, 30 different catches in freestyle, dog disc. There's a lot of really cool things you can do, and it's just having those opportunities for kids primarily, but also getting the adults into it, okay? It's a lot of fun for anybody. You know, you carry a Frisbee in your car, you have a portable disc golf basket, have some golf discs, you stop at a course when you're traveling, it's free to play typically on any course. There's just a lot out there. So yeah, I encourage people. I've connected with a lot of people who are curious about a lot of this stuff that exists, ask me questions about it. Anybody can get into it. There's different levels in disc golf tournaments. At the overall, there's different age divisions. It's a lot of fun. You know, I get kind of emotional about it sometimes because I don't know what I'd be doing if I had never heard about this stuff. So I have a lot of people to thank, that's for sure. So I'm not going to thank them all in this video because it would take way too long, and I've already talked long enough, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there and just let people know kind of where my focus is right now. I've really taken a step back from putting a lot of stuff online. Haven't been doing a ton of instructional videos or anything like that because my focus has been on going into schools, teaching Frisbee, training, learning, just trying to figure out what's the best way to get Frisbee out there, what's the best way to demonstrate it. Working on my teaching abilities, how to teach Frisbee the best way to kids, how to get them throwing, how to get them catching, how to start people into it. So yeah, for all my updates, follow me, frisbeerob.com. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the typical social networks. I don't do Snapchat or Vine or any of those things. I don't do that. But you can follow me on all the other places for sure. And always open for questions. I love when people ask me questions. I still do Ultimate Rob. So some of you probably may have known me as Ultimate Rob, sort of transitioned to Frisbee Rob more so. I do still love Ultimate, but it's a lot harder for me to play Ultimate because there doesn't really exist any pickup in Calgary. In order for me to play, I have to practice with a team. I'm traveling all the time. I'm never in town. I really love playing Ultimate, but I can't commit to a team. And so that's kind of one of the tougher things about it too, is with disc golf, you can show up and play anytime you want, show up to a tournament and play. But with Ultimate, you need to have something more established. So if you are settled in a city and you have a good group of friends, it's a good sport for that. If you're traveling a lot, it's tough to kind of get into it. You can pick up for sure as you travel, meet Ultimate players no matter where you go. Same with disc golfers, Frisbee players alike, no matter where you travel, you can meet somebody. And they're really hospitable. I was just in Michigan and Minnesota for a couple weeks and stayed with some Frisbee players. Just an incredible time. Again, so many people that I could thank, and I'll try to do that in the description, but it's just along the way, even someone saying, you're killing it, just keep doing what you're doing. We love that. We appreciate all the work you're doing to grow this sport. That keeps me going. Okay, I'm not doing this for the fame or the money at all, that's for sure. I have 6 Guinness World Records, but you don't get money when you set a Guinness World Record. At least I didn't. If someone else set a Guinness record and they're getting money, let me know, because I'd like it. But I'd actually buy my own Guinness books, even though I was in the Guinness book 2 times. But yeah, I'm just trying to just slowly keep doing this, just keep getting people into it, getting videos out there, getting exposure, media coverage, just trying to keep the knowledge expanding and growing of Frisbee, of these amazing disc sports in general. So thank you for watching.